everybody, this is KENPOJOE Rebelo, and in this particular segment we're going to be going over Kwon Bop. Now, some of you may be familiar with that term, some of you may not. I know some of my YouTube subscribers are people who study the Korean martial arts, so we're going to talk to you about the Korean incarnation of Kenpo, Kwon Bop. Kwon Bop literally means the law of the fist, and it is the Korean translation of the characters that in Mandarin Chinese we know as Chuan Fa, in Okinawan Kenpo, and in Japanese Kempo. Now, again, when we talk about Kwon Bop, we're talking about a Chinese-influenced art. This was the art that Korean martial arts practitioners studied by visiting China or studying with Chinese martial artists in the country of Korea. And we're going to point out a couple of salient features that identify Kwon Bop techniques and also Kenpo action. If you study any of the major disciplines of Tang Sudo, Subakdo, Kong Sudo, then you have Kwon Bop influences in your given art. There are several famous martial artists who studied Kwon Bop in their tenure. Two of the most notable ones, of course, one is the most famous Korean and Japanese martial arts, Masoyama, who clearly mentioned in his book his study of Kwon Bop. Also, Hapkido great Bong Soo-han also mentions about his training in the art of Kwon Bop as well. Of course, notable Korean martial arts practitioners in the arts of Tang Sudo and also Taekwondo, such as the founders of the Hangmu Kwan as well as the Changmu Kwan, which were two of the major Kwans that were incorporated into modern Taekwondo. Both contribute and mention clearly about their training in Kwon Bop. By the way, Tang Sudo, when we break that down, that literally translates as the way of the China hand. Do, of course, meaning way, Tang, a reference to the Tang dynasty, and Su, it meaning hand. Well, if we would take those characters and translate them into Japanese, we would get Karate Do. However, again, back in the 1930s and early 40s, the Japanese convinced the Okinawan masters to change the character from Tang, in reference to China, to Kara, in relation to empty. Now again, it's still pronounced the same way in Japanese, but again, the significance in the translation of the kanji changed. Well, that being said, what we're going to do, we're going to pick a basic technique that you would see in art such as Tang Sudo or Subakdo or Chinese-influenced Korean martial arts. Now, again, we're here with our strong arm device on our Wavemaster, and what we're going to do from our stance facing our opponent, I'm going to square off into a horse stance position, and I'm going to use the box step, meaning I'm going to visualize there's an imaginary box in front of me. I'm going to step to the corner of the box and step to the square along the side of the box so that I'm parallel to my opponent's punching arm. Then I'm going to utilize an inward block, and I have several variations I can do. One is a rolling hammer fist into the groin, into a rolling back knuckle to the bridge of my opponent's nose. From the same position, I can also utilize an inward block and then execute a thrusting back to knuckle strike. For those people who do American Kempo, a vertical back knuckle or back to knuckle for other Kempo systems, into the rolling hammer fist to the groin. Another version I can do from that point is executing my inward block, back to knuckle, outward elbow to the solar plexus, and rolling into the hammer fist. This creates the button and lever analogy that I've mentioned on some of my videos. Another action, of course, would be from the inward block to utilize a rolling hammer fist to the groin, outward elbow, and that in turn would cause the lever or the circular motion with a rolling back knuckle. These simple actions are one of the key staple series of techniques that are taught in arts like Tang Sudo and Subakdo and clearly show the Kwon Bop or law of the fist influence. So again, block, hammer fist, back fist, block, back fist, hammer fist, block, back knuckle, elbow, hammer fist. Again, from block here, hammer fist, elbow, back fist. Now, again, the American Kempo practitioners, I know, are all saying, well, you should put that check in there, Joe. That's right. Again, if you realize a major blocking action, you should grab the arm and work your motions accordingly. However, certain Chinese-influenced Korean martial arts don't. They keep that hand here and they block. Again, we have to account for that arm coming in. So put a positional check here or actually grab the limb here. Again, utilizing the action from here. Now again, this should be on the inside of a right. Does that mean it can't be done to the outside of a left? Of course it can. And of course, if we utilize this action and we compound it here, this becomes an arm break. Striking at the elbow, breaking the elbow, back fist, hammer fist, break the elbow, hammer fist, back fist, break the elbow, working down the body, break the elbow, working up the body. And again, those individuals study arts, again, from like the Muda Kwan. And let's take a moment here and talk about Kwan. Muda Kwan, Institute or Training Hall of Martial Virtue. Kwan, again, Changmu Kwan, Hanmu Kwan. Kwan is the Korean pronunciation of the word, Chinese word Kwon, or training hall, as opposed to Kwon Bop, which is in direct reference to the fist. Taekwondo, Tai meaning foot or to kick, Kwan meaning fist or to punch, Do meaning the way. But in either case, if you have any techniques that utilize this rolling hammer fist, back fist action, or any of the variations thereof, well, if you're doing a Korean martial art, you're doing Kwon Bop. And again, I'm trying to educate more people to the understanding of Kwon Bop. There are other individuals such as Master Kim Soo through his Chaeyeon Do system. Again, heavy Kwon Bop influence clearly states it. Research it, look it up. That being said, this is KENPOJOE Rebelo. Keep training.